So next we are going to study about maps, pie charts and mixed graphs. So we'll start with maps. Now there are questions that come related to maps as well. So first basic thing we need to start from is the directions of maps. So the maps direction are important. Many people get confused in that. I'll tell you how I learned it. So we all know that this is north and this is south. People get confused in west and east. So let me tell you where west comes. So this is north, and to the right side of the north, to the right side of the north, as in ki you are going from north through the Himalayan ranges, you reach West Bengal. West Bengal. But West Bengal is not in the west side. My misconception when I was a middle schooler was that West Bengal is at the west side. No, it's in the east side. So एक ट्रिक क्या हुई लर्न करने की कि नॉर्थ के राइट साइड में ईस्ट आता है एंड नॉर्थ के लेफ्ट साइड में वेस्ट आता है. सो यू कैन लर्न दिस एज यहाँ से जो कंट्रीज चालू होती है मेनली इफ यू लुक एट अ वर्ल्ड मैप इट्स ऑल द वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज. सो इट वेस्ट इज टुवर्ड्स द लेफ्ट साइड ऑफ नॉर्थ एंड राइट साइड में ईस्ट आता है. टोटल देर आर 8 डायरेक्शन. ठीक है, वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज और वेस्टर्न कल्चर दैट वी टॉक अबाउट. टोटल देर आर 8 डायरेक्शन. सो पहले 4 क्या हुए, हमने बोला 8 डायरेक्शन. 1 2 3 4 फिर 5 6 7 8. ठीक है, तो right side of north is east. Okay, first of all let's write the what are the different kinds of direction. So the first one is north, obviously. Second is, okay, let's move from the right to left. So east, north, east. What am I writing? Sorry. Okay, let's write north, west, north, south, east, west. South, east, west. फिर आता है इसी के बेसिस पे 4 डायरेक्शन और बनते हैं. सो नॉर्थ, ईस्ट, नॉर्थ वेस्ट, देन आता है साउथ ईस्ट एंड साउथ वेस्ट. तो वो क्या हुआ, दिस इज नॉर्थ ईस्ट, दिस इज नॉर्थ वेस्ट, दिस इज साउथ ईस्ट, दिस इज साउथ वेस्ट. सो देर आर टोटल ऑफ 8 डायरेक्शन. सो नॉर्थ के ईस्ट और वेस्ट करके भी 2 डायरेक्शन हो गए और साउथ के भी ईस्ट और वेस्ट करके 2 डायरेक्शन हो गए. सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दैट ईस्ट इज at the right side of north and west is at the left side of north. Okay, so this is if I say that there is a hut present here, or if I say that there is a pond here, so which direction would it be? The pond is located at the northeast corner. Okay, the pond is located at the northeast side. This will be your answer. Then if suppose I say that there is a villa located at this direction, so what will be this direction? It will be southwest direction. And if you want to write east or west in terms of south, because north is considered as the standard most head because it's present at the top, but south maybe it's in the right side of the east and it's in the west side of the south is also, like east is also present at the right side of the south and west is present at the left side of the south. So these are the directions. Now there are certain vocabulary for describing location. And what are those vocabularies? वो vocabularies क्या है? So to the north of or to the south of, to the northeast, to the northeast of, to the northeast of, to the northwest of, to the southeast of, to the southwest of, in the east, west, north or south, in the east, west, north or south, or on the south side of, on the south side of, or northern or southern. Okay, the northern is peninsula, southern peninsula. This is to show the location. अब आता है if you want synonyms for expanding, because there will be words used for expanding के लिए. What are the synonyms that you can use? Enlarged, expanded, extended, made bigger, developed. So these are the vocabs or synonyms you can use for the word expanding. Then for the word removing, you can use demolished, broken down, pulled down, removed, turned down, cut down. So cut down is specifically for trees. So we'll be able to use such words in a sentence where, like in a map, they said that particular area was demolished and then it was made into demolished and made into so and so area, or a particular room was expanded, extended, enlarged, and it was made into, and then again whatever your sentence is. Then if you want additions word आपको use करने हैं addition related. So you can write constructed, built, erected, introduced, added, planted, forests or trees, opened up और facilitate. ओके सो अगर कोई ऐसा वर्ड आता है मैप में, ऐसा रूम आता है जो ऐड किया गया है, सो यू कैन राइट इट वाज कंस्ट्रक्टेड और इट वाज इंट्रोड्यूस और इट वाज एडेड, और इफ इट्स अ ट्री और अ फॉरेस्ट देन इट वाज प्लांटेड, और इफ इट इज़ अ फैसिलिटी देन इट ओपनड अप. सिमिलरली अगर कोई चेंज किया है कि अब कुछ ऐसा हुआ है कि इट्स नीदर एडेड, इट्स नीदर रिमूव्ड, इट्स नीदर एक्सपैंडेड, इट्स एक्चुअली चेंज और ट्रांजिशन इनटू समथिंग एल्स. सो फॉर दैट यू कैन यूज वर्ड्स लाइक कन्वर्टेड, redeveloped, transitioned, replaced, modernized, and renovated. So these are the words you can use then. So ये पूरे lexical resources हुए for direction, for expanding, for removing, for addition, for changing into something. Obviously my writing is not that good as of right now because I'm trying to make such videos as much as I can. So I write in a very free writing. You can put on captions. So if this is your screen, then here at the top right corner, or I can say the northeast corner of the screen, you would find a caption button like the CC button, like somewhere here. So you can put on the captions. That would be easier for you. Now other lexical resources for like writing a sentence, how to write a sentence. So for that, let us look into it. How do they write it? तो एक ये लेक्सिकल रिसोर्स है. इसमें व्हाट वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड इज दैट देयर वाज कंसिडरेबल डेवलपमेंट of the settlement over the years, and it was gradually transformed. Now this is the lines that you have to make note of. This is the lexical resource, that it was transformed from a smaller rural village into a largely residential area. अब next line है, next line यहाँ पे क्या है, over the period. Okay, over the period the area witnessed dramatic changes. These are the words you can use, and these are the universal words that you can use. That from 1995 to 2005 city center, ये तो पूरा customizable है. जैसा question change होगा, you'll have to change the wordings. But spectacular development is again a word that you can use universally in all kinds of answers. फिर है the village changed considerably. So the village changed considerably over the period of time. So change considerably is again a word that can be used over and over again, not in the same answer, but in different answers, or like it can be used universally. During the 10 period time, the industrial area was totally transformed. This is also a word that you can use universally. तो हमने इससे क्या क्या सीखा? यहाँ पर हमने सीखा कि हम लिख सकते हैं considerable development, हम लिख सकते हैं gradually transformed, हम लिख सकते हैं over the period, universally, हम लिख सकते हैं witnessed, dramatic change, हम लिख सकते हैं spectacular development, हम लिख सकते हैं changed considerably, हम लिख सकते हैं totally transformed. So ये सारे words, ये सारी languages are something that can be added to all the type of answers. या फिर over the past 20 years the residential area was totally या completely reconstructed. या फिर over the time period the old docks were totally redeveloped. या फिर between 1995 and 2005 the old houses were rebuilt. The central business district was completely modernized. तो ऐसे सारे words we can use them universally. So अब एक example में आपको एक map दिखाया जाएगा of a hospital and you'll be asked to show, or you'll be asked to summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons wherever relevant. So let's look at it. So we will discuss a map question. Now this is a Westwood hospital and two maps images are shown. One is of 2010 and the other one is of 2020. So there is a gap difference of how many years? 10 years. So already मेरे को एक word मिल गया that I can write that 10 years as what? A decade. So let's first see what all changes are we made. So 2-3 minutes I'll spend to brainstorm my ideas. Firstly I'll look at what all changed. So public car parking is there at the same place, public car parking. Okay, let's start from the entrance first. So they have mentioned here the direction. It's blurred out in the image that it's north, south, west, east and west. So this is the entrance. Okay, you will enter from here and public car parking is in the same place. And the road is also, like the high street is also at the same place. So three things are at the same place. Then moving on, staff car parking, and here it was park. So in 2010 there was a park here and now it has changed into staff car parking. Then there was a specialty clinic, okay, just adjacent to the car parking, which was transformed into COVID center and pharmacy. All right. Then just like opposite of it was reception and cafeteria, which was now made into a big room of reception plus waiting room. Then adjacent to the waiting room was surgery room and waiting room. Okay, adjacent to the reception and cafeteria were surgery room and waiting room respectively, which was modified to make a bigger surgery room, transformed into a big surgery room, and waiting area was removed. And now in 2010 adjacent to the surgery waiting room was cancer center, which is now transformed into or changed into childcare center. Now opposite to the childcare center and all of this was like just adjacent to the specialty clinic was the emergency center, which is now like modified into, emergency center is there but it's modified into a specialty clinic is also added now. So that specialty clinic which was present and 2010 present adjacent to the public car parking is now merged into the emergency center and together with the specialty clinic. तो ये हमारा रहा ऑब्जर्वेशन लुकिंग एट द फिगर. नाउ लेट्स लुक एट द सैम्पल आंसर. सो जो पहला पार्ट है, सी अगेन इसमें भी पैरा 1 is introduction, para 2 is overview, para 3 is body paragraph 1 and para 4 is body paragraph 2. तो इंट्रोडक्शन में वही सेम रूल्स अप्लाई होंगे जो ग्राफ्स में होते थे. द मैप इलिस्ट्रेट्स द मॉडिफिकेशंस मेड टू द डिजाइन of Westwood Hospital over the span of 10 years or a decade and mention that what is the span also. Overall, now we'll talk about some major changes only and not going into the detail in the overview. Overall, the Westwood Hospital has undergone considerable changes during the decade. Certain facilities like cancer center, waiting areas, cafeteria have been replaced in order to accommodate new facilities such as child care, pharmacy and emergency center. So this is the overall. While in 2010, so this is a linker, specialty clinic was located adjacent to the emergency center. Specialty clinic was located adjacent to the emergency center. It was relocated to its south. Now it's relocated to its south, means just below it. Okay. Another major change was the addition of COVID center and pharmacy in place of the shifted specialty center, pointing to the modifications. The staff parking area left of entrance replaced the park. It is also observed the surgery room almost doubled in dimensions as the waiting room next to it was relocated and merged with the reception, and besides the cancer center was converted to a child care unit. Lastly, in 2020 layout of the Westwood, there is an absence of not only park but also of what else is removed? Cafeteria is removed. So the highlighted words which actually will help you to how you could write it, right? So constructed, reduce, change, converted to, redeveloped, accommodate. These all vocabularies are the ones that you have studied here. Okay, there is no much more information than that. Okay, so do not leave any detail because maps we do not have a lot of information as such. So describe everything. Okay, and generally there is nothing to select. So do not leave any detail in the map. Otherwise, you will not be able to fulfill 150 words requirement. Now. There is a template I'll provide you, which on the basis of which you'll be able to solve another question. These are standard templates which will help you out in a universal, like solving all kinds of questions. So these are the templates for writing paragraphs in maps. So para 1 is broad details where you write the introduction. So this is the template. You can use exactly this, and this is universal, so you can use it in any whichever question. So this layout or map illustrates the map, compares the layout of in and. So this layout or this map illustrate, or the map compares the layout if it is a comparison. Then para 2 is about broad details. So overall there is noticeable changes in. So this is the overview. You can write overall the noticeable changes are in so and so things. Then para 3 is about analyzing data source. So on the other hand, you can write on the other hand, in the north or in the north of, further in the east of, these changes were observed or it has replaced this. Then para 4 में same analyzing data source. The three sentences could be on the other hand, the dash in the north. However, the dash in the haven't been named and remains same. Okay, when there's something same. So however is a good usage of a linker. The changes appear instrumental in understanding or making well equipped. So this was the template. Moving on to mixed graph. So this is our next subtopic under the same video, that it is mixed graph. And there are two general points that I want to say, that generally 99% of the info given in chart 1 is totally different from what is given in chart 2. Right, and in question you'll be asked two different sentences, like the two different sentences will be there, and those will be separate sentences. The chart below shows and the second one will be the table below shows. So what student make the mistake is the chart and the table shows, or the chart and the table depicts. ऐसा अलग अलग लिखने का, you don't need to write it differently. So what introduction do we need to write is, for example, the pie diagram indicates, okay, for example, the locations explored by various individuals residing in Australia during the year 2015. Okay, whereas, then you have to write the word, add the word whereas, okay, in that itself. Whereas, so this is basically what, whereas becomes your connector. Okay, whereas the tabular data represents the outcome of a research study conducted for Australian citizens who went to the theme park during the same year. And then comes the most important line, that the unit is measured or was measured in percentage. Okay, another good point is that keep the tenses similar. If you have written the whole answer in past tense, and write the whole, like if you have written the introduction in past tense, write the whole paragraph in past tense, like maintain the tenses. So what the common mistake the student do is that they would write some hodgepodge thing, because there are two different things given, that therefore the heading mixed graphs. So the pie diagram, so here in like intro ke first part mein they have discussed about pie diagram indicates the location employed by various individuals residing in Australia during the year 2015, the tabular data. So now ab isko continue karne se pehle we'll add a connector such as whereas. So whereas means कंपैरिजन दिखा रहे हैं हम एक तरह से. द whereas the tabular data, now we are talking about tabular data, represents the outcome of a research study conducted for Australian citizen who went to the theme park during the same year, and the unit is measured in percentage. Okay, so how we are going to write the overall now? Overall, let's type it now. Here only 48. तो यहाँ पे हमने क्या बोला कि overall, according to the pie chart, cinema was the favorite tourist attraction. You see, this is what happens in typing. Favorite tourist attraction in Australia. So in overall also we have first written about the pie chart, and secondly we have written about the table. Now there will be a difference in para 3 and para 4. So in para 3 we'll talk about the pie chart. Whatever major trends, minor trend data observed in pie chart will be written in para 3, and in para 4 data about table would be mentioned. So never merge them. The tip is here, star mark tip is never ever merge them, because you don't want to make it complex. Make it as simple as possible. Okay, so I'm going to read you basically a sample answer so that you would find it interesting how to write it. From the pie chart, so what we learned in this question was that the pie chart illustrate. Now let us highlight. Okay, so I'm going to use yellow highlighter for band 9 words, red highlighter for linkers, and red pen for any other good words or good usage of language. Okay, so the pie chart illustrates the proportion of Australian inhabitants who visited different places for recreation. So see how they have paraphrased the question. Illustrates proportion of Australian inhabitants. So proportion, inhabitants, recreation, these, at least the top three words, can be universally used for any answer. So keep in mind that. In the year 2015, while the table outlines, so this is also a good word, outlines the observations made in regard to the native individuals. Good usage of word, native individuals, who showed interest in different types of theme parks during the same period. So this is also a good usage of word, that instead of writing 2015 over and over again, we said same period, showed interest, outlines, observation. So these are good usage of words. Overall, it is clear from the pie chart. This is good line that you can like use it universally, that cinema was the most popular place to spend leisure time, whereas this is a linker. The zoo stood last. Okay, so this is stood last. The data and table reveals the data in the table reveals. So this is a good line you can use. The data in the table reveals that the visitors preferred. So preferred is also a good word that you can use universally. Whitewater World among other theme parks for recorded period. So there they said for the same period. Now they are using the word for the recorded period. So you see how they have used the same meaningful words, but different words with the same meaning. So from the pie chart, it is evident that the theater was the most favorite location visited by 30% of total travelers, followed by theme park at a difference of theme park at a difference of 5% less tourists. In third place stand. So in third place is also a good linker. However, is a good linker. Oh yeah, very nice. 1/5 they have mentioned. So we learned about word of approximation, where we learned about 1/5. So what is 1/5? Basically 100 divided by 5. So there might be 1/5, right? So there might be almost 20% 20% of population visiting there. And the zoo, the library were the least preferred. So least preferred is also a universal word, can be used where by only a quarter of total individuals. So quarter is also like 1/4. So that is 100 divided by 4. According to the table, okay, according to the table, or as per the table, around one third of the enjoyers. Okay, so instead of write travelers and all this thing and repeating the word over and over again, enjoyers spending time in the whitewater world, the second most. Okay, so this is also a good word linker. The second most explored theme park. So this is a good band 9 word, explode, जिसका spelling ही गलत लिख दिया है. Explode. Explode. Just a simple R will be here. Theme park was a beach house where 1/5. Again, a good word is used here. 1/5 of the vacation is spent. 1/5 of vacationist. Nice word, but it is actually what? Vacationist. It's vacationist. Spend time, nevertheless. Again, good usage of linker, nevertheless. Comma is always should always be there. Big Splash Water Park, Luna Park, and Sea World were separately visited by less than 20% of holiday goers. Holiday goers. So these are the words that you can also use over and over again, because this is purely universal. You can use it in any sentence that you want. नेक्स्ट हम मूव ऑन करेंगे प्रोसेस डायग्राम पे. प्रोसेस डायग्राम और प्रोसेस डिस्क्रिप्शन टू बी मोर प्रिसाइज. here we will discuss about process diagram and description, process description basically. So the previous answer that we discussed right just before this topic was this. This was the question, and you can see that the distribution of tourists to different types of attraction in Australia 2015, and they have also given a table. So this was the question. You can take the screenshot of it, and this was the answer to it. So if you want, I'm going to zoom again and you can take a screenshot of the question. This was the pie diagram and this was the table, and nahi hai, this is the answer. Okay, so now next, moving on to process description. This is our sample question, but I'll zoom in for further clarity. So you can see that this is a zero waste recycling process. Okay, a zero waste recycling, it's a recycling process basically. So step 1 is use plastic collected. Okay, step 2 is plastic. Okay, let me get a clear picture for this. Actually, I'll dictate you whatever is written. So what I'm trying to say here is that basically this is how the process diagram comes. They'll give you a diagram and you have to describe the steps in detail. They will ask you to describe all these step 1 to 6 in detail. So step 1 is use plastic material is collected. So this is material. Use plastic material is collected. Step 2 is plastic is ground down to particles. Step 3 is ground plastic further refined into smaller particles in a blender. So this is a blender machine. Step 4 is small particles melted and they are extruded in plastic filament, and then it is recycled. These recycled plastic filaments are blended into a 3D printer, and this 100% recycled plastic के products create कर दिए जाते हैं. So this is basically the diagram, and we will learn how the steps are presented. So इसमें हम पहले आंसर देखेंगे, फिर हम स्ट्रक्चर देखेंगे कैसे फॉर्म होता है. So the diagram illustrates step by step process. Okay, तो diagram illustrates, graph illustrate, ये हम ऊपर भी पढ़ चुके हैं. So ये diagram illustrate करता है क्या, step by step process, और ये process involved in making new plastic products. The diagram illustrates step by step process involved in making new plastic products by recycling old plastic waste items. So यहाँ पे आपने शॉर्ट में डिस्क्रिप्शन दे दिया. फिर आता है ओवरऑल की बात करेंगे. ओवरऑल देयर 6 कॉन्जिक्यूटिव स्टेप्स. तो हमने यहाँ पे एक ब्यौरा दिया दैट दे आर टोटल 6 स्टेप्स स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम procuring the used plastic products, then converting this product into finer particles, and lastly running a plastic filament to produce a brand new recycled plastic material. So यहाँ पे learn करने की बात क्या है, language wise तो 6 consecutive products starting from overall. These are the words that you should highlight and learn so that these can be used universally for every answer, like the diagram illustrates step by step process. Okay, ये words भी universally you can use, but this line which is written from here to here, instead of saying all the 6 steps, they gave us gist or summary of what actually is happening here. Okay, so you don't have to give a lot of detail, just give. So they said that it starts from procuring the used plastic. So we have procured the used plastic, and now we will convert this product into finer particles, and then a filament is made, and that filament is used to produce brand new recycled plastic material. Now the process begins with, so this word also you can use, begins with, everywhere in the answers, the collection of old plastic based material which are used as raw materials for complete process. In the next step, this word can also be used universally. These collected plastic material is put into a grinder to be crushed down to smaller pieces. These ground plastic materials, comma, in the following step, very good usage of word, have to further churn down for easy processing, comma, so they undergo refinement process in a blender. Thereafter, a good linker is present. The resulting tiny particles of plastic are melted and transformed into plastic filament using machinery. Finally, this recycled filament is passed into a 3D printer as one final step. Okay, as one final step before obtaining a completely new product that is used or that is recycled totally from old plastic waste. तो ये लाइन मैं यहाँ लिख देती हूँ, कट गया शायद. Completely new product that is created totally from old plastic waste. So this is the process description. Now there are some good words used here which we should learn, and those are diagram illustrates, then step by step process, overall, 6 consecutive steps starting from the process begins with. तो ऐसे करके ना आप अपना खुद का एक स्ट्रक्चर और फॉर्मेट क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. ओके, इन द नेक्स्ट स्टेप, and this structure can be used universally for any kind of answer in the following step. Thereafter finally, one final step. So these can be used totally universally. That is why I have taken time to write it down. You can use these terminologies to write your own answer, and these are something like common words that you can use in whichever answer you want. After this, we are going to learn something in general about process description and diagram. So first of all, it is a very easy question type, very easy, not a lot to learn. Okay, and second of all, now you're going to laugh a little bit that generally this question type, because it's so easy, it's not asked a lot of times, so no need to worry in this, but you need to prepare everything. So all you have to do is describe the process. There is no planning involved, no comparison, because every step is unique. So no planning whatsoever, no comparisons whatsoever, only because every step is unique in its own way. So therefore no planning and comparisons is required, and we don't require it. So there's a very good word that I learned from somewhere, and that was penultimate step. You know the ultimate king or the ultimate batsman, we use such kind of words. So ऐसी penultimate क्या होता है? Penultimate is second last step. So this is a good word you can use in every process diagram, that oh, this was the penultimate step, the second last step. So it will be easy if you use such words. So filler words are needed in such type of questions, otherwise you will not be able to complete 150 words target in this type of question type. So the diagram illustrates involved in making new plastic material. Then यहाँ पे involved word use हुआ है, ये भी अच्छा word है. Then word use हुआ है, then to describe the next line in the next step. All this you can use, like churned word use हुआ है यहाँ पे, that is also a band name word. Using machinery, so instead of saying blender or this 3D printer, they said directly machineries were used. All right, so we will learn about the basic structure for process. अब मैं एक बात बोल दूँ, that describe the process or how something finishes manufacturing from start till end. So इसमें आएगा first paragraph will be about, para 1 will be about introduction. ये जो हमने ऊपर पार्ट देखा 2 लाइन का, this was introduction. Okay, so introduction में sentence, एक ही sentence आएगा, that is sentence 1, and it will describe the data source description. Okay, so it describes the process or how something finishes or manufacturing from start till end stage. So just a short description. फिर आता है paragraph 2. para 1 लिखने में the maximum time that you should spend is 2 minutes. 2 minutes to write introduction, not more than that. If you're well practiced, तो 2 minutes भी आपके लिए sufficient है. Overview में आता है, para 2 में आता है overview. तो इसमें आपका जो sentence आएगा, that will be overall. Then the process provided takes, इसका जो universal structure है वो कहता है overall the process provided takes how many steps. So you will have to write the number of steps or stages taken from beginning till the end. तो ओवरऑल द प्रोसेस प्रोवाइडेड टेक्स नंबर ऑफ स्टेप्स और स्टेजेस फ्रॉम बिगनिंग टिल द एंड. तो यहाँ पे भी हमने जब बात की थी तो हमने देखा ओवरऑल देयर आर 6 कॉन्जिक्यूटिव स्टेप. तो हम समरी दे रहे हैं, समरी में हम अगर हम बता दें कि कितने स्टेप्स हैं टोटल में तो वो बहुत बढ़िया बात हो जाती है. फिर आता है पैरा 3. पैरा 3 एंड पैरा 4 सेम होते हैं, दैट इज एनालाइजिंग डेटा सोर्स. इसमें जितने भी सेंटेंसेस होंगे द कॉन्सिक्यूटिव सेंटेंसेस, जो कि सेंटेंस 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 होंगे, जैसे कि 3, 4, 5 इन पैरा 3 एंड 6, 7, 8 इन पैरा 4, उसमें हम लिखेंगे अबाउट 1 मेजर डिटेल एंड 2 माइनर डिटेल्स, जो कि फॉर्मेट हमेशा से चला आ रहा है इन द कॉन्सिक्यूटिव 3 स्टेप्स. ओके, सो देयर आर सम स्टैंडर्ड लाइन्स दैट यू कैन यूज टू राइट योर प्रोसेस दिस थिंग. वो लाइन्स क्या क्या है कि द फर्स्ट स्टेप इन्वॉल्व्स और इंक्लूड्स, दीज आर द बैंड 9 लाइन्स और सेंटेंसेस दैट आर गिवन. तो इसमें आपकी स्ट्रक्चर क्लियर हो जाएगा. और देन यू नो व्हेन यू हैव दिस यूनिवर्सल स्ट्रक्चर गिवन, ऑल यू हैव टू डू would be that you would have to write about the exact question details, whatever process is described in the question itself. In the first step, once the dash is ready, next step is to followed by thereafter takes place and dash is done. The resulting product is then dash dash dash. After dash is done, something is done, the product or raw material or unfinished product is dash dash dash, whatever you know, customizable as per the question. The penultimate step is to in this stage undergoes finally the finished good or product is. Lastly, the dash is produced or manufactured through various stages of production. So these are the lines and sentences that you can use, ready-made sentences that you can use as per your question requirement. तो इसमें फिर आपको ज़्यादा दिमाग नहीं लगाना पड़ेगा. All you have to do would be to write as per the question process, whatever is given to you. So this was all about writing task 1, and from the next video lecture series we will be learning about writing task 2, that is advantages and disadvantage. मतलब many kind of essays are there, advantage, disadvantage, opinion based essays, agree disagree essays, right, discussion essays. All these we will discuss in the later video where we will learn about task 2 of writing task or writing module. Till then, like, share, subscribe, comment down below if you want to learn more words, more terminologies. I have a very vast like vocabulary range and idioms and all these things. Just the thing is that I want to complete these videos in a shorter way so that you know you don't get bored. I'm going to I provide only the like most necessity wali, but if you want in detail also I can provide. For that you need to comment down below, you need to like my videos so that I will feel motivated that oh, they like my content, so I need to put more such contents, and share